All right. So the electric Ronin is actually the world's first four-door convertible. And of course, it's got a carbon fiber hardtop. But this is really about redefining the supercar. You know, what is in the future? We want the ultimate driving experience. We wanted a new type of luxury. So we are working on an interior which completely will redefine luxury. We are going away from traditional chrome and wood in the interior and really coming up with something new. I'm super excited about that. But also, let's talk a little bit about the technology in the Ronin, because we see the Ronin as being the technology carrier for Fisker, where we can showcase all our new things in this vehicle. Let's start, for example, with the integrated battery pack. So there is already some integrated battery pack ideas out there, and you know, of course, we know about those, but we have actually looked at something different. We're looking at integrating the cells into the structure of the body, and that will give us our goal of getting to 600-mile range. That's kind of a lot. And the reason we are going for a 600-mile range is because this is a luxury GT, Gran Turismo. You want to drive from Los Angeles to Napa Valley or from Paris to Saint-Tropez or wherever, and you just want to drive. You just want to have fun. You don't want to think about when you have to stop. You just want to have fun in this vehicle. So that's why we went for this long range, and I think it's important. Second part, having fun. Yes, it's got supercar performance, 0 to 60 around 2 seconds, and of course, over 1,000 horsepower. And to capture all that, of course, four-wheel drive and a tri-motor setup. And of course, we're also going to include some active aerodynamics that we are working on as well. Now, take a little bit look at this sculptural design. It does have the sort of signature that we are standing for, which is really the sculptured wheel arches, low-slung. But despite that, it actually have seats for 5 people, which is pretty amazing. We also have 4 doors, and it's actually butterfly doors, as you saw, open up this way and open up behind. So it's probably going to be the easiest to get into convertible that you've ever seen or been in. And of course, finally, I think the reason we are showing this car, and the reason we are building it, of course, we want it to be the top of the brand, but we're also using some of these design cues on this vehicle. For example, this new layout of the front headlamps. You're going to see that in some other cars today. It kind of will be sort of a trademark of Fisker. Of course, with the top down, you know, this is a family excursion. I mean, maybe this becomes a lifetime experience. Driving this car with your family, you can fit them all in there. And it's a true sports car, it's a true open car. And of course, when you close it, it becomes a sports sedan, which is kind of cool as well. Coming back to sort of the new type of luxury, you know, we believe in creating something completely different. And in this vehicle, you know, it's a vehicle where it's not about the roar. It's about when you drive, you're hearing maybe the birds sing, you're out, the fresh air. And I think that's going to be a complete different experience. And I think getting inside this car through these butterfly doors, I think that's where you're going to get that sense of occasion. You're in something new. By the way, this vehicle we're expecting to come out towards the end of 2025. Now, I know I said I love those Frankenheimer film with the car chases. Of course, now it's not about, like I mentioned, the roar of the engine. It's really about enjoying nature and enjoying a vehicle like that without necessarily relying on an engine noise. So that's the dream. That's the Ronin.
Henrik, quick, I have a question for you. Actually, I have 2 questions. Did you say 1,000 horsepower?
1,000 horsepower.
All right,
yeah.
So I've always wanted to ask this. What do you do with 1,000 horsepower? Like, what, in a car like this, give me an example of like how 1,000 horsepower would come in handy.
I mean, I think there's many normal examples of that. For example, let's say you're driving the Autobahn in Germany,
Sure.
and you're chasing an international, you know, criminal syndicate.
Okay.
You want to get out of there fast. And I've also seen that happen in Paris, by the way.
Right.
So that can happen to you, and then
Right.
you need the 1,000 horsepower.
It's like a real-world example.
It's a real-world example.
Okay, no,
right
perfect.
there.
I got it.